All right. Start going over everything here a second. All right, that looks proper. All right. All right, good morning. Haven't done one of these in a little bit now. Just been feeling like shit. So, all right, I'll start walking through Bitcoin here. I'll probably do a proper write-up today, I think, and then go from there. I'll put that in Discord and walk over some hypos and see where we're at. Actually, let me pull up my Notion here. I'll just do that off screen and then I'll put it in the Discord because I don't want to deal with other windows and stuff right now. Let's drag that over there. All right. Daily prep. All right, whatever. Good morning. What's up, man? Just trying to duplicate this shit right now. Why is it not working? Okay. All right. So let's walk through kind of what happened going into, the weekend and whatnot. And we'll kind of work back from there. What is that? Okay. So I'll start with profiles here, I guess, and then we'll go to VWAP and just kind of go down from there. This I'm going to pull all the way over, but essentially we had price accept into this older 4-day composite, as well as the major break from the 8-week, which, usually when that happens, you don't want to see price start ranging. Following that, when you have, a major balance like this and you see a break from that, usually you want to see continuation. Right? You don't usually want to see a break and then, starts ranging, especially when it's at a contextual level of resistance, being the 14-week and the 4-day composite high. You don't want to see resistance there. Usually that's just a sign of weakness or a deviation or failed auction, however you decide to look at it, depending on how price sets up. And it's more likely to revert back into value. And then at that point, assuming it does accept back in, which it did, you should anticipate the traversal, which would plot us down to 86. That would be the 8 weeks. So, rewinding back from that, we have I guess it's like 2.5 month now. So I'm just going to pull this all the way over. So November to December value would plot us up to here. All right, so your value area high was, I guess, around the same level. All right, so again, same thing. Failure above there, clean break, high volume, right? And then finds failure, we start becoming rotational again, and we slowly break down, and then you see this kind of big flush down. So knowing that, again, your next obvious target is the POC, or you expect the traversal, which would put you down to, around 85, depending on, I guess, how you... Nah, never mind. Put you down, towards 86. Yeah, 86, not 85, my bad. So it puts you around there. If you look at TPO, it's probably about the same, I assume. Should be about the same level. So value area high is the same. Value area low is really low. I'm just going to merge the current month, just see what we get. Or the current month, my bad. Yeah, so that one puts you about 85.2 for the time, and the volume is right about 86 for that low. So again, that's two very bearish shifts, and then in short, narrative is definitely bearish right now. There's no reason to be bullish, at least for the time being. Why is this so laggy? So that's that. From there, again, we did traverse this 4 days of value, tagged into this kind of thin area in the profile of this single print, right? Buyers are absorbed up here. I was long at this point because I had a really good interaction, being that the condition was bullish, right? And we had a nice retest of that level. I went long, expecting continuation because that's just what I should expect given the condition here. You expect more buying. And then once it broke down, now it's bearish. So let's talk about bearish shifts here. Actually, we'll go over to VWAP first. I believe VWAP's pretty bearish as well. As of right now, we are inside of previous year value, expecting mean reversion, which is kind of my main target for longs, with around the 100K. And then I expect that to be deviated and tagged this composite POC, which is about 101. And that's where I'd expect more of a lower high to be put in. I still do expect that if we start to shift bullish, and I'll talk about when that could possibly be the case. Seeing the previous quarter, the overlap's the same, about 100K. Previous quarter val and previous year val is confluent with these lows here. So if we did see kind of a reclaim of that level, that would be a bullish shift there. So that's just something to note. But for right now, previous quarter and yearly value don't really matter aside from that. Talk about monthly. So we'd be bearish on monthly right now. We have basically fully traversed it. So we were imbalanced up, and then that's where we had that failure. We set back inside, built out a really shitty low volume kind of push up here, left these highs and this kind of inefficiency over the weekend. And then that was your traversal there. And then we're also kind of teetering with previous month value, which should have been a decent support. And it's kind of flipped the resistance here, it looks like. I'd say if we make a new low here, it's likely we're going to go lower. I would assume we go lower regardless, being what's happening. Yeah, and we also bottomed off this POC, which I'll get to. But, knowing that traversal happened here, so you'd expect, to break down even further. And we've also kind of flipped previous month value. So, excuse me, knowing that, you would expect the traversal, which again is confluent with those lows and the more significant composite low, value area low, I should say. Previous month VWAP should be resistance as well, I expect, because it's confluent with the 17-day composite, which I'll get into. But in short, pretty bearish. I don't even know what that is. Weekly, same thing. Weekly, I believe, previous week and developing week. So where are we? Yeah, we accepted back inside after that failure again inside of developing week. Kind of became rotational in the upper half, tagged the VWAP, and then this is just a low volume weekend BS, big flush. And then previous week, value area high held really good as support, as you can see there. Right, nice return pullback, and then zoom in a little bit more on developing week. Again, would still be very bearish. We were just rotational here. Week starts bullish, mean reversion bullish, traversal all the way through, finds resistance at previous week VWAP, completely imbalanced down. So that would be bearish as well. So every major reference I use would be bearish right now. So all VWAPs are, and all composite structure is really shifted. Rolling VWAP, I believe, is about the same. Yeah, bearish against every rolling VWAP. So we didn't tag the 365-day confluent with the other VWAP overlap. 7-day and 30-day had a decent reaction here on this composite overlap. Obviously, they've kind of flattened out as we flush down. And looks like we flipped the 30-day as well. So good trend indicators, and all of them point towards more downside right now. So I guess I'll talk about some hypothetical trades for the time being here. 1 second. All right, my bad. I deal with something there. Okay. Man, I feel like shit. Oh my god. So for trades right now, definitely looking for shorts. I did send these ideas last night. I've been feeling like shit lately. I have to get a tooth pulled today and a bunch of other stuff done, get a retainer fitted and stuff. I have a really messed up tooth. Anyways, I felt like shit. I haven't really traded. I did talk about the acceptance back inside of the 8-week. Knowing that, again, you'd expect a traversal, so really good reaction there to go short. And then you have this previous 5-day, which is very close to the 8-week. And you had a really nice return there as well into this high volume imbalance. So super easy short. Also retest of previous month value area high. So very easy to position in shorts there. It happened when I was asleep, and like I said, I haven't been trading, or I would have absolutely been in both of these. But what now? So I would say The condition stays the same until proven otherwise. So you should expect more downside until we at least complete the traversal, right? So for shorts, I mean, I expect that where's the visible range? Yeah, kind of a low volume node here. So kind of a low volume node around previous month VWAP and this 17-day composite high. I would expect we find some support around there. But if we do break down from there, that's a very obvious short. So acceptance back inside of the 17-week, and I would look to play that down to the 8-week low here. So that would be following the full traversal of the 8-week. And then you also get into the, we might even come down this low, I don't know. Might even come down to the 2.5 month value area low, which is, right around this kind of order block down here. So that's what I would do for shorts right now. So let's just draw this out. Of course, I haven't looked at flow or anything right now, actually. Let me just see here real quick. I mean, yeah. I would say sellers kind of getting absorbed at that low here. What does this look like? Just really quickly. Yeah, sellers got pretty heavy at the low there. I don't think I'd get bullish. Yeah, okay. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I would expect a traversal here. So let me just draw that out again. And then, yeah, we have this new 5-day as well. I'll do the write-up in Discord. I feel like shit right now. But I'll do the write-up in Discord. So we have this new 5-day, the older 4-day. It's kind of hard to read, but that's kind of how I label them. November, December value area high. I'll have to change that, I believe. It should be here. 2-month value low. All right. So yeah, I would expect we continue to traverse this level. Potential breakdown from here. Do have these lows. I mean, where is that even? No, that swept it, I think. I can't tell. Possible that you could play the breakdown of monthly value in this composite, given it does give a good reaction. This is a better short, I would say. So yeah, the very obvious positions were here and here. Lots of confluence. The narrative is bearish, so that would have been really good shorts to take. Okay, how do I just go to a higher time frame? How can I zoom this out? This is a mess. So I would say that, and I would expect that. Previous month VWAP should be support, but I mean, I would say, if you found failure around the previous month VWAP and then reclaimed, then I would probably go long. But besides that, I wouldn't be too concerned about it. And then from there, yeah, again, I would expect the full traversal. So let me just draw it something like that. It's basically what I would expect there. If we do find failure here, where would I get bullish again? Something worth noting as well. I don't really care about this composite, actually. It's kind of shit. I guess the highs is overlapping there, so you know what, I'll keep it on there. But when I set my chart, I made, oh wow, what the fuck happened there? Wow. Like I said, we did bottom off the POC. So that could stop the traversal. That's always possible as well. Just something worth noting. Okay. Let me pull this back up and then stop fucking dicking around here. All right. So for me to get bullish, at least very bullish at this point, it would have to be get back above November to December value. I'm a little worrisome here. If you try to get long here, you just got to deal with all this imbalance. I mean, your safest long absolutely is, NPOC here, right? You have the 5-day value area low, November to December value area high, the older 4-day value area low. There's like a ton of overlap right here. The way I would play this to go long would be, well, there's a couple potential ways I would do it, I think, but if we just to blindly go like this is a bit more difficult. I'd rather tag the POC and then get in on a pullback, just being that I mean I would expect a reaction here, and the value area low and the POC are pretty close. So I mean, you could long here and I mean target the POC. I would be more inclined to see a reaction from the POC and then come back up to firm up value area low, kind of as newfound support, given acceptance, and then try and play the traversal. That's how I would play it ideally. And then from there, if you traverse value, we also have a really thin profile here with these highs that are stacked. So I mean, I would expect that we would find a reaction here as well. So just again, a lot of little anomalies here. So you'd have like kind of a low volume node or these equal highs. You have an NPOC here, right? So just things to note, which I'll cover. Massive single print here. So stuff I'll do on the write up, just things to note. But for me to get bullish, I would ideally just redraw this, tag the POC, and then come back, and that's when I would like to go long. And then conversely, same thing. If that happens, I would expect we finally come up to the VWAP overlap and probably deviate it and go closer to here is what I would say. And same thing, I would get bullish above there again. This POC being tagged, if this gets tagged, and similar to what could happen here, like if this POC gets tagged and the full traversal of this 5-day doesn't happen, and it bottoms here and then reclaims this, again, that would be bullish, and then you could just play the narrative from there. But that's pretty much it. I'll do my full write-up in Discord. I guess I can go over Solana, maybe. Solana looks dead. I don't think I'd be more paying attention to Bitcoin right now. Let me just verify. Yeah, I don't think I'd even be fucking around with the Solana right now. So this is a sole Bitcoin chart. I mean, I would say it's a pretty good interaction. I would say Bitcoin's the better thing to be trading right now. Better setups as well. I mean, Bitcoin just accepted into the 8-week. Could have played that short for sure. Solana broke down kind of a long time ago. If you were short above here, then this would have been a great short. But besides that, I would say I wouldn't be looking to short around here. If anything, if I was to short this right now, I would say somewhere in this single print or towards the daily open. I don't think I'd even, probably the single print. I'd probably, closer to the POC if I was to take a short on Solana, but it doesn't really interest me. I think I'd just stick with Bitcoin. So somewhere up here, but I wouldn't bother with it. Ethereum, I haven't charted in a while. Ethereum looks pretty dead too. Acceptance there. So I mean, yeah, I can't remember the last time I sent an Ethereum chart. Same thing for Ethereum though. I would expect this is where it finds support. Previous quarter val, POC, yearly open. As for shorts, I mean, somewhere in here would have been decent to position yourself, probably right here. If Bitcoin does break down, you probably could have positioned here too. On the breakdown of the smaller composite, I don't even know how long this is. Like 5 days. I think that's a 5-day composite. That's how I would have positioned myself there. Besides that, I mean, I would just leave it. I think I'm going to call it there. If you have any questions and whatnot, ask me in the chat. I'll do a full write-up for Bitcoin and post that. I don't think I'll be very active for the rest of the week, to be honest. I'm pretty sick. Kind of fucked up right now. So, yeah, have a good trading week, fellas. I'm just going to call it here. And, yeah, well, I'll be in the chat and whatnot on Discord. But